Hi, everyone. My name is Erin Elizabeth Marenberg. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome if you are new here. Today is March 3rd, the 3rd of March. So we have 3-3. So we have an angel number day today. And so like usual, I'm going to do a reading where I just give you a quick 10-minute little positive vibes, good recheck, self-centering energy, just have some good vibes on this lovely angel number day. Just remember we are being protected and divinely guided and looked out for. And so when we can kind of relax into that, it makes all aspects of life a little bit easier for us. Okay, I have 4 groups for you today. You can pick by the cards you can see, you can pick by the number, pick by your intuition, whatever resonates for you. All the timestamps are below, and when you're ready, I'll see you at the reading that you chose. Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's for everyone who picked group number 1. So you all picked the card Striving. Eventually, the individual ego's drive to make things happen falls away, replaced with a relaxed, trusting openness to answers as they arise. Thank you, Divine, for letting me move with the flow. Okay, so group 1, I feel like at least part of you has connected with this message to loosen your grip, okay? Sometimes when we get really excited about something or really want something to happen, we're really putting in the work, we're getting so excited. Sometimes those lines between what we can control and what we can't control get kind of blurred. So this is just a good reminder that, we cannot control the outcome of something, no matter how much we're controlling the actions that we can control. So let's say, for example, you have a certain goal that you want to meet and you're like, well, I'm controlling how I'm thinking about it. I'm controlling my actions. I'm controlling this. I'm controlling that, right? So even if we were, quote unquote, perfect in all the ways we were controlling what we can control, we're still not in charge of when the actual thing comes to fruition, because guess what? We're not God. Okay. So this is a reminder that, sometimes when we're striving and we're pushing and where is it? What's happening? Sometimes that can be kind of, we need a little bit of a reality check to be like, okay, as long as I'm controlling what I can control, I still cannot control the outcome, and God's in charge and not me. And it's God's timing, not my timing. And so this is, again, I think for group 1, a little bit about, letting go of control a little bit, right? So just remembering that, again, God's in control, not us. And you can even say, this prayer at the bottom, thank you, Divine, thank you, God, thank you, higher power, whatever word you use, right? For letting me move with the flow. And again, replacing this controlling, this ego's drive, this like I can make it happen, with relaxed, trusting openness to answers as they arise. So it also could be an answer. So maybe you've been praying about something, or you're asking for guidance, or you're like, okay, I'm ready, show me what to do. I'm ready to take action. Show me what to do. And the answer is just not coming. This is, again, a good reminder that we cannot force something to happen sooner than the moment it's going to happen. So even if you and someone else did all the exact same things, you probably still would get the answer or the results or the goal you want at different times, because we're all on our own path, and we all have so many things going on, like internally, and things to work through and all of that, there's so many things that we don't even, know are going on, that are being calculated, working together, all of that, again, we're not aware of, we can't control. We just have to show up, do our part, and then surrender. So striving, again, there's a healthy level of that, but just making sure you aren't blurring the lines between what you can control and what you cannot control. Okay, we're going to start with 3 tarot cards for you, and I'll get into some oracle cards. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so you have the 7 of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, and 7 of Swords. So 7 coming out here. So 7 could be a sign for you. Look out for that. So this is really saying to me that, because you're kind of striving to get the solution, get the answer, figure it out, all of that, sometimes you're just being tempted to pick something because you're like, I don't want to wait anymore, right? So you'd be like, well, I'm going to make this other thing happen. So I feel like I'm in control of the situation, and that might not be the best. Okay, so Queen of Pentacles, regardless of your gender, this is queen energy. This is really about like staying grounded, checking in with yourself, being aware of like, this is like, I'm not making a decision in la la land, right? Like I'm grounded in myself. I'm connected to myself. I can, feel my feet on the earth. I can spend time in nature. And I can use all of that connection in order to make sure that I'm not choosing something just to choose it because I'm tired of waiting, right? So making sure that, again, you're grounded, you're clear, you know what you want, and you're very just centered. I'm just seeing like just breathing in, deep breathing, centering yourself, staying connected to who you are, not acting hasty just because you're tired of being patient, which easier said than done. Okay, I get it. And then we have Seven of Swords, which is about deception. Can read as a deception, but also is about being wise about what you're bringing forward with you, right? So it can be deception in terms of like if you act in haste or if you aren't patient for the guidance that's for you. Sometimes you can make a choice that doesn't super serve you. I was going to say, doesn't necessarily serve you in the best way. So this is really about knowing that you can't take everything you want. So even if you chose this thing, you still have to leave some things behind. So striving can be, about cutting out the things that aren't helping you or aren't a match for you or aren't the right thing for you to choose. And instead being like, okay, I'm going to be grounded and wait in my answer, right? So both of these temptations, right? Taking more than you can carry, things that aren't for you, and just choosing something so you can make something happen. These are both surrounding this beautiful Queen of Pentacles, which again is about centering yourself, about listening to your intuition, listening to that answer, letting yourself make the choice that feels really grounded and really clear instead of just, again, choosing something just to choose it, just to, quote unquote, make something happen while you're waiting for the guidance to come through for you. Oh, then we have Leap of Faith, the Goddess card. Take a risk and put your heart's true desire into action. So I feel like, again, this is like, it seemed very contradictory to what I just said, but this is about with something you can control. So I feel like this striving and that Seven of Cups energy was choosing something that isn't the right thing or is just a distraction or is forcing something, right? But maybe there's something else you could be doing in the meantime. Maybe there's, you're still waiting for this certain thing. So you have this other energy freed up to do something else. So maybe, you've been so like, I need to make this happen. This is the thing I'm focused on. This is what I need to do, that maybe actually this is a perfect time for you to put that energy into this other thing you wanted to start, or investigate this other thing, or, I don't know, take it how it resonates, but, take a risk and put your heart's true desire into action, right? Sometimes when things aren't happening in the time we want, there's actually time for us to pursue that other thing we always said we were going to look at, or even just rest, or even just, show up for ourselves in a way that we haven't before. So this actually goes very well with the theme of this, even though it might seem counterintuitive, like it's very different than what I was just talking about, but it's not. It all goes together, right? A lot of truths are actually pretty paradoxical in nature. Okay, believing in spiritual guidance gives me certainty and the freedom to keep dreaming even when I can't see the result yet. So yeah, again, very, very much, when we lose our faith in God and we don't feel like we're being protected or taken care of, that's when it's really easy for us to just be like, well, I need to make something happen. I need to choose one of these things in front of me so I can just go, because I'm clearly not being taken care of, and this is not coming to fruition for me, and this is not, something that's God forgot about me, right? But that's not true. God doesn't forget. God might delay, and it might be on a timeline that's different than ours, or maybe something that's a better fit for us if we can't hear the answer, but God doesn't forget about us. Okay. So believing in spiritual guidance gives me certainty and the freedom to keep dreaming even when I can't yet see the results. So again, this is about moving back into that flow energy, which was mentioned on the striving card, instead of just being like, okay, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'm ready. I'm ready. What's going on? Right. So that could be a good affirmation for you, or just be like, I trust God's timing, not my timing. I trust the process of my life. I trust the timing of my life. I know God loves me and didn't forget about me. Anything like that could be coming through for you, if how it resonates. Okay. Take one of these. Simple pleasures. So I think a really easy way for us to kind of this Queen of Pentacles energy, just get grounded in our body, is doing simple pleasures, focusing on simple pleasures. So that could be going for a walk, spending time in nature, cooking yourself a nourishing meal, reading a book, taking a bath, right? So while we kind of do these small things, simple things in our day-to-day life, that can really add to kind of this just very gentle, abundant energy and helping us feel a little bit, more in control and centered. And again, this Queen of Pentacles, simple life for me, right? Living simply really opens up the place for miracles, because we're focused on like being a good steward of like each of these day-to-day things that we can do to show up for ourselves. And so again, just when you feel like you don't have the answer, or things are complicated or not going how you want, the answer is to do less and lead a more simple life, instead of pushing like, I need the answer, it has to happen now, I need to do this, I need to do that. Okay, and then I'll pick one affirmation card for you. Sometimes when I shuffle, like 20 cards fly out, and I'm not going to pick those. So if I see cards flying and I don't pick them, that's why, because we just want one. Okay, we have Uncovering Confidence. I am the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. So this card comes out a lot. I love it. I think it's just, again, a reminder that you're not on your own. You're not an individual in this realm. I mean, you are, but it's not your realm that you live in. Okay. So there's a lot of messaging we get of like, do whatever you want and follow your heart, and that's true to an extent. But if we're only living on self-will and not thinking about community, thinking about other people, thinking about God's will, then that's when, shit hits the fan and we just feel out of control and, all of that. So I'm the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. It's just a reminder that, there is a plan. There are things acting in favor for you, even if you doesn't feel like it, or you can't really connect to them right now. Okay, that's everything I have for you. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. Happy 3/3. If you ever want any more information about me, all that is linked below. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Hi everyone, welcome. This is for everyone pick group number 2. So just a reminder, this is a 3/3 reading. So I'm just going to do a quick 10-minute pull some cards for you, give you some good vibes reading going on for you today. Okay, so group 2, you guys pick truth. When everything is done as an offering, even the act of speaking, you get shown when to talk and when to be silent. Your words come from silence, not fear. You do the talking, dear Lord. Take me over and speak through me. So this is a really good card. And, in the time that we are alive in, where extroverted is rewarded over introverted, being able to talk and charm people and all that, is rewarded over not, a lot of these people skills. It's sometimes we can get conditioned into talking just out of habit. And it's like, is this actually helpful? Is this actually, something that is helpful for the situation, or am I just talking out of habit and out of this? And there's, of course, a difference between being an external processor and internal processor. I'm an external processor, so I do like speaking out loud and talking with things like that. But if you can't be quiet and shut your mouth for, a good chunk of time, then it's clear that there's a pattern going on here that should be looked at, and it's turning inward. So group 2, I feel like, this could be with your relationship with the whole world, but also could be maybe a particular relationship in your life, maybe a work relationship, romantic relationship, family, a friend. That there is a time where maybe you're going through something where you need to look at, when should I be talking versus when should I be silent? And so just, allowing yourself to be that vessel, and just saying a prayer of like, please speak through me, please show me when to talk and when to be quiet, just like this card says, and just knowing that a lot of times, we can be a vessel, and God does work through people, and allowing us to do that. And again, this isn't, I don't want to promote this as like, oh, look at me, I'm so holy because I'm holier than you, because God's speaking through me and I'm your savior, right? We don't want to go into that holier than thou complex, but we do want to make sure that what we're saying, is this peaceful? Is it true? Is it honest? Does it need to be said? Does it need to be said by me right now, right? Sometimes we get so many ego hits for saying something or making a joke at the expense of someone or whatever, right? Instead of being mindful of like, wow, do I really need to be saying this right now? Is this helpful to anyone actually? So some things about truth. And again, this can be, when I had to learn this was a little hard for me because I love talking, and, really had to look at my intentions with things, had to look at, do I need to be talking right now? What is actually the voice of fear and what is the voice of my ego, or what is the voice of, my higher self of abundance coming through for me that I can offer right now. Okay, so first I'm going to pull 3 tarot for you. I already got 1 that came out, 2, and we'll do 1 more, 3. Okay, so we have Ace of Wands, the Lovers, and the Emperor. So I feel like, right off the bat, we have this beautiful Ace of Wands. So I feel like Ace of Wands is always about a renewed passion. It could just be not just a passion to like make something happen, but passion in terms of like life force energy. So maybe group 2, you are going through this kind of rebirth of who am I, who do I want to be, how do I want to be in the world, what do I want to exist as? And all of that is connected to Ace of Wands, like a new birth, a new beginning. It's kind of like, just realizing like, well, do I want to exist like that anymore? So maybe you are kind of going through this identity cycle of just the way you existed before isn't working anymore. This big overhaul in your life. And so when I see that right into the Lovers, because this is just an individual reading, this is just a message for some of you, but because it's an individual reading, it's not the main vibes I'm getting from this. But when I was talking about, examining the way you speak and how you speak, it could be that you're doing that through a romantic relationship here. With the Lovers of it, looking at your communication style. But whenever I get the Lovers, when I just do an individual reading, I think this is about, again, balancing your masculine and feminine energy. So all of us, regardless of the gender you are, have masculine and feminine energy inside of us. You can just do a quick Google search if you want some examples, but masculine energy is more about taking action, making things happen, putting yourself out there, right? A lot of this energy that is really honored by society, and we have so many masculine systems set up. And then feminine energy is, that time actually where you turn inward, where you're quiet, where you're reflective, where you listen to your intuition, where you don't try to make things happen as much. So I feel like with this reading, this is kind of like a rebirth of the way you want to use your masculine and feminine energies. Most of us, especially in work-related things in this lovely capitalistic world we live in, right, are very encouraged and rewarded from doing a lot of masculine energy things. So this is, like, be a go-getter, put yourself out there, make things happen, be assertive. This is who I am. Hire me because of this, and this, right? I took initiative on this project, right? Whereas feminine energy is more of like letting things come to you, not doing as many things, right? Resting, being reflective, all of that. So I feel like you could be in a state where you're figuring out what is my truth between my masculine and feminine energies. And again, it could be, in work, great, have it mastered. I know how I want to be, but in my day-to-day life, I know I want more of, this particular energy over that, or in this particular relationship, I want this instead of that, right? And then we have the Emperor here closing your reading. So I feel like, again, this is really looking at if I want to feel in control of my life and like, who do I want to be? This Emperor energy is, about like, discipline of the self. It's going to be connected to, what times do I need to use what different energies. You can change this minute to minute, moment to moment. You can change it based on certain areas of your life. You can change it based on the day of the week, the month you're in, the year you're in. There's definitely times in our lives where we need to be more feminine energy and allow things, and times where we need to be more masculine energy, where we put ourselves out there and make things happen a little bit more. But this Emperor is really about self-discipline and like overcoming challenges through that. And so I feel like, again, group 2, maybe you're at this place where the truth of how you existed before wasn't working. And so now you're in this space of, you are ready to do something different so that your self-discipline can be different. And so you can show up in a way that is, a better fit for, when we have our circumstances change in our life, then it can be a time for us to turn inward and be like, wow, is what I'm doing working? Do I need to have different ways I'm existing? It's very real, very common when we go that. Okay, so we have Irene, who I love, because guess what? That's my name, the peace goddess. So there's no need to worry, as everything is working out beautifully. So I feel like, you know, maybe for you, group 2, this truth, this big shift, this big overhaul of yourself, it's felt like, oh my God, is everything okay? Well, who am I? What's going on? What's the truth? What do I do? All of that. But this card is just reminding you, peace, find peace with Aaron also means peace, but Irene, peace, 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 peace. Okay, just remember that when, you know, it's the saying of you break down to break through, old patterns disappear so that we can, you know, get to the other side, and so we can grow on the soul level, and so we can honor, you know, this new us that gets birthed into this existence. So just not, you know, doubting yourself, or just being like, you know, really leaning into trusting the process. And look what I pulled with that. The universe is always conspiring to support me, guide me, and lead me compassionately towards the highest good. So exactly what I'm talking about, trusting the process. So if you feel like there's a big overhaul in your life, just remember that God doesn't change our circumstances unless it's time for us to change. You know, there's also that saying, right? Like, if God doesn't make us uncomfortable, we don't change sometimes. So just remember that, again, if you're in the middle of the process, if it feels insane, if it feels like I don't want to recreate my life, I don't want to have something new happen, I don't want to whatever, you know, just remember that, you know, things that can be very, very harmful according to the ego can actually be very, very wonderful for the soul and really help push us and expand us on our soul expansion as we move forward. And look at this card too, cracking open the seed. So again, just what I was talking about, right? Sometimes if it's also, I'm just getting a lot of proverbs today coming through, but the one of sometimes if you're in the darkness, you feel like you've been buried, but maybe you were planted, right? So again, if there's a big overhaul in your life, or you feel like you're becoming this new person, there's this big rebirth of like, who am I? What the hell's going on? Just remember that, you know, it is conspiring for the highest good for you. It's practice for you to find peace amidst the circumstances, right? Peace begins with me. Peace is an inside job. Peace is something I need to do within myself. And if I believe God is trusting me, then part of that is, you know, cracking the seed open, which been there, doesn't always feel the best, doesn't always feel great, but, you know, it's part of the process of growth, even when we don't want it to be. And then oh, I love this. Okay, then we have growing beyond guilt. So it couldn't have happened any other way. What a really wonderful affirmation to close with for group 2. So I feel like, again, a lot of trust the process energy in here for you. A lot of like, you know, just letting go of the guilt of the, sometimes when we're scared to move forward, we're like, well, what if it was different? What if this had happened instead of this? Or what if this was like this instead of this? And that's not helpful. I get it. You know, it's a response the ego wants to have, but it's not helpful. And so it couldn't have happened any other way. That's just a reminder that, you know, these are the circumstances. This is what's going on. I need to reevaluate my life. This is like this new birth process I'm going through. And again, I can just remind myself that it couldn't have happened any other way. And so again, can I trust the process? Can I have faith in all of that? Okay, that's everything I have for you. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. If you ever want any more information about me, all that is linked below. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is for everyone who picked group 3. So just a reminder, this is a 3-3 reading. So just going to be a quick 10 little message, pull some cards for you, give you some recentering advice, okay, to support you on this lovely angel number day. Okay, so you all picked the card Trust. When love is invited to take over, right actions arise at the right time. Allow me, dear divine, to wait patiently until the timing is right. Let me rest in the unknown until a clear path is shown. So all 3 of the groups kind of have like similar theme around trusting the process and trusting things happening. But for those of you who pick group 3, this is the most direct the message has been so far. So again, trust and faith are those 2 of the things that, like, it's really easy to be like, yeah, I trust, I have faith, I know God's taking care of me, I know it's in perfect timing, I know all that. But when it's time to actually do that, a little bit of a different story. Okay, so this is card just a reminder that, you know, allow me, God, to wait patiently until the timing is right. Let me rest in the unknown until a clear path is shown. So a lot of times what we learn while we're waiting is essential for us to be able to be a match to what we're waiting for. So this is, you know, reminding us that maybe I'm learning to rely on God in a way that I never had to. Maybe I have to look at some of my limiting beliefs that are coming up instead of me jumping to the next thing and like distracting myself with stuff. Maybe I'm learning that I can't control everything, even when I thought I could. So just remembering that, God is not this like punishing force that's doing things just to mess with you, right? There's so many times that once something does come to us, we're like, wow, actually, if this would have came a minute before, I would have not been ready. Maybe I would have rejected it or not been a match for it or anything like that. So again, this is just a reminder that, having faith and trust is, sometimes it can seem like we're missing something, because it is just about, waiting and finding peace and knowing that, I probably actually do have enough right now, and can I find peace in my day-to-day while I'm waiting for, whatever thing to come through for me on the other side. Okay, and then I'm just going to pick 3 tarot cards for you, and then some oracle cards. So we have 10 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, and the Hermit. Wowee. Okay, so lots of trust in here. So I feel like, again, just what I was saying, the 10 of Pentacles is about like having everything we need. And there's so many times that, and this isn't saying that we shouldn't have goals or strive for new things or, achieve these new layers of things we want. But there's so many times where we're like, oh my God, I don't have, this new job or this new outfit or this new car or this new whatever. And it's like, okay, that would be ideal to get that, but we're actually okay while we're waiting for that. Like there's so many times where it's like, okay, I have enough food, I have a roof on my head, like, how many things we have this 10 of Pentacles, we have this abundance, but we're like, no, I don't have enough, I don't have enough. And again, this isn't saying that you will never, strive for what you want or grow or, put yourself out there like that. But this is just a reminder that a lot of times when we're waiting for something and we think like, where is it, what is it, we actually have enough to feel peaceful and abundant and just enjoy our moment to moment life instead of being totally distracted by where is it, why isn't it here, why isn't it here, why isn't it here, right? Because then we have this 2 of Cups, and because I'm reading this as an individual reading and not like a romantic reading, I feel like this is about meeting the self. This is about again, sometimes when we can distract ourselves with some of these physical reality goals as a way of like not meeting ourselves, of not turning inward and, seeing who we are and connecting to that, but instead really just being like, I don't want to look at myself. I want to be distracted by this and this thing in the outside realm. And again, we do need to have a balance, right? We can't just be doing internal work all the time, but if you are not able to be at peace when it's just you with you, like that's a clue that you need to offer some love and compassion to yourself and deepen that relationship. And that takes, you guessed it, this Hermit energy of going inward. Okay. So, maybe I think because this is the Hermit, maybe you like want a romantic relationship or a business partner, or, could be another person you're waiting to like show up in your life. Could be a job. It could be, anything that can, again, expand you in the physical reality, which again, good for you. God bless you. We should all have goals and want to grow on the soul level. But I think, with this trust card, there's a lot of energy here around knowing that the right timing will come, because maybe it hasn't happened yet because you have this internal thing to work through. And it's like, okay, can my trust get strengthened? Can my faith get strengthened? Can I turn inward and learn how to self-soothe maybe in a way that I never had to before, because my things, showed up quickly and I never had to wait this long for something, right? This is about meeting yourself, offering yourself some gentleness, some compassion, just not like, again, feeling like you're doing something wrong because it hasn't shown up yet, right? You can be taking the most right and perfect action every single day, all day. And it just, again, might not be time for you to have the particular thing you're waiting for. Okay, then we have Aphrodite, inner goddess. Awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. So this applies, my readings are not gender specific, so this is just, goddess energy, no matter what your gender is. But again, part of this relationship with yourself that is asking you to give it some attention right now. It could just be, making a more sensual relationship with yourself. So that could be, dance, self-care, like how do I nurture myself? How am I talking to myself? What food am I eating? Am I taking a bath? Am I going for a walk? Am I dancing? Am I expressing myself? Right. And just appreciating, like, again, that relationship with yourself because if you like the person, like when Wayne Dyer said, you can't be alone if you like the person you're alone with. You can't feel lonely if you like the person you're alone with. So, there's so many times that, obviously, again, we are an interdependent species. So I'm not saying you never need to have a relationship with anyone ever again. Like that's not helpful advice. But when we do have time with ourselves, like our relationship with ourselves should feel very nourishing, should feel safe, should feel soothing. So, maybe this time that you're waiting can be for you to go inward and be like, okay, well, how can I develop a more loving, kind, understanding relationship with myself? How can I offer myself some love and compassion, and just have a little more, just a little bit of a deeper relationship with myself in a way that maybe I didn't have to before, right? And just think about your relationship with yourself is like all other relationships in our lives. As the years go on, it will get deeper. You'll know more things about yourself. You'll grow and change. So it's not just a one time, like, oh, I spent like, a year really getting to know myself. So that's it. There are times where we will need to be more connected to ourselves than others, but it doesn't mean that, we should ever abandon getting to know ourselves, taking care of ourselves, just being in a loving, kind place with ourselves. Okay, I'm gonna pick one of these cards. I don't have to fear my fear. I can use it as a way to get closer to love. Yeah, so I feel like, again, with a lot of this energy of this Two of Cups and this Hermit, this is really saying, you have the physical resources you need. So this is really about, are you brave enough to look at some of those rejected, shameful parts that we all have? It's part of being alive on earth. And can I be kind to myself and offer some light and expansion inward to look at them? So I don't have to fear my fear. I can use it as a way to get closer to love. So this is really just about, I don't have to be afraid of those rejected parts of me that seem overwhelming. I can hold them with love, compassion, care, kindness. I don't need to judge myself for them, right? So just knowing that when we offer gentleness and compassion for ourselves, that's a way we can handle and work through a lot of some of the situations in our life that maybe haven't felt the best. Okay, separation is an illusion. So I feel like, again, this is just a reminder that if you've been feeling like, I can't heal this, I'm so overwhelmed, it feels so bad, whatever, this is a reminder that any separation within ourselves that happens for survival mode, it happens so that we can feel, so we can go into the mode of protecting ourselves of, okay, well, I need to disown this part of myself so I can survive, so I can be loved, so I can whatever. But again, there comes a time where eventually you have, this 10 of Pentacles, enough resources, you're an adult, you have all of that around you that you don't need to disown those parts of yourself anymore. It's going to be about, can you call them back in and, stop fragmenting your soul still with that. Okay, and then we'll just end with one nice little affirmation for you, group 3. Okay, we have activating the third eye. The other side says, whoops, I am willing to see beyond my beliefs, ideas, and conclusions. So again, I feel like a lot of why internal work is such a turnoff for a lot of people and why it can be challenging is because we have so many of these beliefs or conclusions or stories we've told about ourselves for so long that when it's time to finally release them or let them go, the ego really doesn't want to do that. And so, because that story keeps us safe, supposedly. It doesn't eventually it doesn't. It did for a time, but eventually we grow out of it and we have to be willing to let that go. So I'm willing to see beyond my beliefs, ideas, and conclusions. So just a reminder that if you are being called to go inward, to see what's going on within yourself, it's a reminder that, if you don't feel like you can do it, just I am willing is a great place to start. It's just ask God, pray for willingness to be able to do this. And this again comes with that trust card we had in the beginning of trusting the process, trusting, what you're being called to grow and work through. Okay, that's everything I have for you. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. If you ever want any more information about me, all that is linked below. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's for everyone who picked group number 4. So you all picked the card Solitude. Once you embrace your inner divine and your own sacred solitude, The right people arrive at the right time, exactly on schedule, without forcing or chasing. What a great message. So can you see that? Okay, so not even people, but the right situations, the right jobs, the right, all of that, because most of us are not taught how to be alone with ourselves. We're not taught how to spend time with ourselves enough, that we use other people and external things as a distraction. We use work, we use relationships, not just romantic, all relationships. We use going out, we use running errands, we use being busy as a way to avoid being with ourselves. But the truth is, once we learn how to practice solitude and just have such this overflowing, loving, amazing, abundant relationship with ourselves, which takes time and energy and practice. Okay, I'm not going to say it's overnight, but once you learn how to do that and you feel your own energy and you feel what that feels like, it's so much easier to weed out which people are not for you, which situation is not for you, which thing is not for you, because you're not using it as a void filler anymore. You're using it in a way that's like, okay, I want this person because it adds to my energy. This friendship feels good because it's adding to my energy. It's not an escape. This job feels good because it's an extension of my energy. I'm not using it just because I'm taking something for no reason, right? So this card is really about remembering, if you're going through a hard time or just kind of figuring out like, I need to have a better relationship with myself, but I don't know how. This is a good reminder that, again, spending time with yourself is never in vain, okay, no matter what, but especially in this situation. And just remembering that, you know, once you learn how to have this like loving relationship with yourself, then so many things they won't be void fillers. You'll cut out so many things you used to fill the void, so you wouldn't have to spend time with yourself, so you wouldn't have to, you know, whatever else is going on. And instead, just focus more on having things be in your life because they're a wonderful addition, not a void filler, just like, well, I'm taking this because this is the first thing that was brought to me, right? You can be more discerning, you can have more clarity, you can have more awareness, you know, instead of just feeling like, oh yeah, well, I want this because, you know, because it's the first thing I have in my life towards me. Okay, so we have the Chariot, King of Pentacles. What? The Chariot, King of Pentacles, the Devil. There we go. Okay, so I feel like, what do I feel like? I feel like there's some conflicting moments going on here for you guys in group 4. So Chariot is about forward motion. It's about pulling between the head and the heart. It's about wanting to move forward, but maybe getting stuck because there's like 2 conflicting messages going on. So I feel like with this solitude energy, maybe you have been trying to spend more time with yourself. You have been trying to fill yourself up with yourself. You have been trying, you know, all of that. But it just feels like overwhelming, or it feels like I'm trying to move forward, but how do I do it? You know, all that. This is just saying, even if it feels like nothing's happening, it is, okay? Baby steps. Things don't happen overnight. I mean, they do happen over a night, but not just one, right? We just notice once it's happened instead of all the times it wasn't happening. But every little shift is helpful and healthy in a little direction, even if it doesn't feel like it. So there is movement here. If you feel like you've been working on this relationship with yourself for a really long time, that's normal. And again, we change. It's just like any other relationship in our life. You know, you change, you grow, you want different things, your values change, your circumstances change. And so that results in you having to like re-get to know yourself and having to examine yourself, right? And so just knowing that there is forward motion, even if it doesn't feel like it, you know, if you are going through this. And then the King of Pentacles, regardless of your gender, this king energy with Pentacles is really about being grounded. It's really about knowing that like, okay, I'm going to keep showing up, keep taking action, and keep doing these things for myself, no matter how much I feel like they might not be working, no matter how much I feel like, you know, this isn't the right thing for me, or is anything even happening, right? It's about being grounded within yourself and knowing that this is motivating you to keep going, no matter, you know, what is or isn't working. And then again, part of that solitude is relying on your own inner strength and the strength from God. And again, staying grounded. So staying grounded also, this is a great way to think about, you know, doing meditation, doing some deep breathing, going for a walk, spending time in nature. Anything that can get you back in your body and offer you some grounding energy will be very valuable for this time as you work on, you know, building that relationship with yourself and turning inward. Then we have our dear friend, the devil. Okay. So the devil is always there trying to tempt us with stuff. So this is a reminder that, a lot of times, so many things that we get addicted to, it's like what I was talking about in the beginning. It's because we don't want to, it's like too painful or too hard for us to spend time for ourselves. Not always, but that's usually a factor involved. And so the devil can be like, when you're doing this, if you hit something inside of you that's like, that doesn't feel good, I don't want to feel that, I don't want to get to know myself anymore, right? Then like that's when the temptation can be activated to be like, well, I need to overeat, or I need to drink and do drugs to medicate, or I need to play video games for 800 hours, or I need to watch Netflix for 6 days in a row and not do anything else, right? Again, there's a balance. Only if it's out of control, but just a reminder that those temptations to get lost in something outside of us do come up when we are trying to build this solitude within ourselves. So no judgment. I've been there. I've talked very openly. I'm an addict. I'm in recovery from many things in my life. So it's okay if it comes up, but just again, knowing that it's there and knowing that, those temptations might be there as you are trying to make this forward motion on healing yourself, your relationship with yourself, all of that energy. But again, no shame, no judgment from me. I'm an addict. I get it. Just knowing that it will be worth it for you to turn internally instead of trying to fill the void with these things outside of you. Okay, then we have the Mother Earth Goddess, Mawu. You're called upon to help with environmentalism. Aren't we all? Okay, so I feel like besides the actual message on this card, where I was talking about with this King of Pentacles energy, nature can offer us so much healing just from going out into nature. So a really nice, healthy, wonderful, supportive way to spend time with ourselves is to go on a walk, journal out in nature, just take a few deep breaths, just do anything out like connected to that source is really healing and loving with that Mother Nature. And then also, to help with environmentalism, just looking at your own relationship with the earth, so do I want to, eat more locally sourced? Do I want to, look up where these products I'm buying, where they're coming from, how far are they traveling, like all of that, and like, we know, the individual can only do so much based on what corporations and the military and, all this other horrible things are doing to the earth. But it is about owning our own energy and saying, like, can I practice gentleness with the earth? And a lot of times once we tap into that energy of gentleness to the earth, that flows into gentleness in our relationship with ourselves. So this can really be about, when you open that portal up of offering gentleness to this wonderful, sentient, loving being we all get to be with on this planet at this time, that can flow into, some of the ways that we offer gentleness to ourselves too. So I think, Mother Earth is we are so lucky to have to spend time with, but also to be able to, open that gentle channel with ourselves and then allow that to radiate, or with the earth, and allow that to radiate also to within ourselves. My true safety lies in my capacity to align with the love of the universe. So again, there's so many times where, and I get things are complicated. I get we have all things to work through. So I'm not trying to minimize that, but just a reminder, like a goalpost to think about. My true safety lies in my capacity to align with the love of the universe. I would say with the love of God, love of your higher power. But just a reminder that, I always, like when I used to start praying or start trying to talk to God or communicate with that, I would have judgment of myself and to be like, I'm the only one here. It's just me and God. So what am I doing judging myself? So this is, again, you can think about when it's just you and you, when you're trying to build that kindness within yourself, you're like, whose voice am I hearing that's making me feel bad about myself right now, right? Where did the story come from? It could be a specific person that you remember, but also could be like from media, from growing up, from something you heard in passing, right? Something you've internalized. This is a reminder that, we can really trust that, like, okay, it's just me and God in this moment. If I can really hold that energy and I can give myself permission to feel safe right now, like that is where, a lot of this healing and solitude energy and just depth within ourselves can come through, because we are, again, connecting to that energy of safety, of that place inside of us that there is perfect peace that's accessible once we're willing to go inside and connect with ourselves. Then we have trust in the unfolding. So I feel like, again, this is that big chariot energy I was talking about, of just like feels like I've been working at this forever, nothing's happening, what's going on, letting it go at the pace it needs to go at, all of that. And just a reminder that, these things happen in their time, not in our time, in God's time. And so just remember that every little teeny tiny thing adds up, even if it doesn't feel like it, because we're like, I want my results and I want them now. It's a reminder they do add up, and just having faith. Trust the process, trust in the unfolding, trust in the way things are happening for you, at the pace and the way you will be taken care of. Okay, then we have amplifying abundance. Abundance is my birthright and I receive it now. So again, I think with the theme of this reading, a lot, unfortunately, right now, abundance has meant money. And that's part of it, feeling okay, financially taken care of. But with this, I feel like abundance is my birthright. That means your relationship with yourself, just based on the theme of this reading, right? So this energy of, I do have enough, I can be taken care of, I can have this abundant, replenishing relationship with myself the way I want it. And that includes, having abundance of my relationship with myself. It means I can start over as much as I want. It means I can have whatever relationship I want with myself, right? Just knowing we can treat ourselves with love and compassion, no matter what we've gone through, and patience and understanding, and, not shaming ourselves any further. It's knowing that this is, I receive it now. That's step one to opening up your heart and allowing yourself to have this really wonderful, kind relationship with yourself that you can have. Okay, that's everything I have for you. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. If you ever want any more information about me, all of that is linked below. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.